Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this video review episode, we are going to be talking about Sarang Tyagu's Aaromaley. The film is a fresh, breezy, fun but also very real take on romance. It's a boy meets girl story but with a difference. The boy thinks love is like what they show in the movies. The girl is more practical and perhaps too much so. But surprise, surprise, this is not just their love story. It is also about the other kinds of love that exist around them. Even within its playful tone, this is a romance that is refreshingly close to reality. That's a short take. A longer review follows and it may contain spoilers.
Title sponsors Grand Royal Tours, Anuj Tiles, MCR, Naga Food presents Aaromaley movie review by Baradwaj Rangan.
Aromale is a light, breezy film that walks and talks like a rom-com, but the tropes and beats aren't exactly that of a rom-com. For example, there is no meet cute, there is no misunderstanding, and for the longest time, the hero and the heroine aren't even in love. They are not in a relationship, they are not in a situationship, they work at the same office, so I guess it's a colleagueship. If we define a rom-com as a movie in which the comedy stems from the romance, then Aromale kind of sort of qualifies, but only because our hero and heroine work in a matrimonial agency that engineers the romance of other people. Why am I talking about the genre of this movie? Because it is hard to pin down, and that itself is a success for the writers and for the director Sarang Tyagu. They have made a fresh, fun film about love that is also a film around love, and the romance between the hero and the heroine is almost an afterthought. The opening stretch is cheerfully deceptive and it makes us think we are in for a bunch of romantic cliches. Like the title, the scenes too are an homage to Gautam Menon's classics of the genre. Kishen plays Ajit. In a flashback, his friends go to watch the playboyish, chauvinistic Theerada Vilayattu Pillai while he watches Vinnai Thandi Varuvaya. After the film, Ajit falls in love with the idea of falling in love. His attempts at getting a girlfriend in school and then in college are amusingly done, but things get serious at home and he has to get a job. He ends up working at that matrimonial agency which specializes in finding the perfect match for each client, whose details are recorded in files with a scientific level of thoroughness. Some of this may have to do with Anjali, played by Shivatmika Rajashekar. She is one of the most successful matchmakers in the company, and her methods involve a scientific level of thoroughness. For Ajit, it is about meeting your soulmate. For Anjali, it is about meeting the company's quota. For Ajit, it is a matter of the heart. For Anjali, it is a matter of cold logistics. We think Ajit and Anjali will become a classic case of opposites attract, but the film has other ideas, and these unconventional scenarios keep giving us surprises. One of these involves a girl who loves someone but whose father disapproves. The situation is utter cliche, but the film uncliches it by using it to show the difference between Ajit and Anjali, and also to show who's boss. Instead of getting all cute and cuddly, the story gets into a bed of thorns. Another situation involves VTV Ganesh, who is in good form as someone who's there for laughs as well as emotional drama. Gautam Rajendran's lovely cinematography and Sidhu Kumar's bouncy score keep the film at an easy breezy eye candy level even when the events turn prickly. Harshath Khan's well-timed comedy also helps a lot in keeping the mood light even when the happenings turn heavy. A special shout out to whoever named the tea shop Chai GPT. It gladdened my dad joke loving heart. The writing is super organic and there is not one wasted scene. There are only a few things that bothered me. One is a sad song that puts a small speed break in the flow, a small speed break. One is the old style messagey voiceover at the end, which is an eye roll moment in a story with the kind of tone. And then there's the ending itself, which feels a bit rushed. You want your heart to explode with all the love on screen, and that doesn't exactly happen, but this is also very consistent with the tonality of the screenplay. Sarang Tyagu wants to be as real as possible, and this ending is as real as it can get. It's what we want, but it's also how these people would behave at that point. In other words, the emphasis is always on the world of the film and its characters and not on the audience. It's not about being dramatic for the sake of a high moment. Everything feels earned. Everything feels as close to reality as a very pleasant romantic comedy, a very pleasant romantic movie can take you. Even the minimal makeup on Shivatmika feels exactly what an office goer would wear and not what a heroine would wear. She is fantastic in a tricky role, making us feel a strong and stubborn woman, as her grandfather calls her, without alienating this character from us. Even her anger is controlled with a scientific level of thoroughness. Kishen Das is the perfect foil, and he's perfect as a wide-eyed young man who wears his heart on his sleeve and needs a reality check that life doesn't work like the movies. Tulasi and Raja Rani Pandian play Ajit's parents. They are fantastic. They make us see that love is more than remembering. It is a beautiful writing choice that Ajit's mother gets a backstory while Anjali doesn't. We don't have to understand Anjali, we have to feel her and we have to feel for her, and that really happens. At a time, our screens are filled with blood. It's lovely to watch something like Aromale, but that's not why it works so well. It speaks in a fresh voice, it speaks in a fresh filmmaking language. If it were a WhatsApp message, you'd instantly put a red heart emoji on it. That's it about Aromale. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galata Plus and see you soon at the movies.
Title sponsors Grand Royal Tours, Anuj Tiles, MCR, Naga Food presents Aromale movie review by Baradwaj Rangan.